For a politician you don't even support. That would be the deal if the Moreland Commission's recommendation to have publicly funded campaigns becomes a reality. It's just one of a slew of suggestions in the 101-page document released last night. Our Capitol correspondent Pat Bailey is live in our Albany newsroom to explain the battle over those publicly funded campaigns. Pat?
Well, Greg, it should be noted that this is a very partisan issue. Those on the right say taxpayer-funded campaigns are a waste of money, and they say they prove nothing. And those on the left say it levels the playing field and keeps big corporate money out of elections. Well, New York City has had the program for almost 25 years now, and tonight we take a look at how many believe this could be a model if public financing goes statewide. For 24 years, taxpayers in New York City have been helping politicians run for office. This past election year alone, $37.5 million was taken from the Big Apple's budget and given to hundreds of city candidates. The system is a 6-to-1 match, meaning for every $1 donated, 6 more taxpayer dollars are given to a candidate.
Is the New York City model working? No.
Brian Sampson of Unshackle Upstate, a government spending watch group, says despite a recommendation from a majority of the Moreland Commission members, New York should not adopt a statewide public finance system. Sampson calls it a waste of money. In this past election, he says there are 2 examples. First, former Assemblyman Vito Lopez, who left office after being accused of sexually harassing several female staffers. Lopez ran for New York City Council and collected $92,350 public dollars for his campaign. Then there was the unsuccessful mayoral campaign of Anthony Weiner, another disgraced lawmaker who left Congress after tweeting out pictures of himself. Weiner received $1.6 million of New York City taxpayer money and lost the race.
So at the end, we spent $1.5 million of taxpayer money for him to get less than 5% of the vote.
But proponents of publicly funded campaigns say it's not about winners and losers, it's about fairness. They believe publicly funded elections mean leveling the playing field for candidates who do not get large donations from wealthy citizens and businessmen. But what would something like that cost to expand to statewide elections? According to the Campaign Finance Institute, a group who testified before the Moreland Commission, their highest cost estimate is $60 million a year.
If we look at how much money the state wastes in its budget every year, we're talking about a tiny fraction of 1% of the state's overall spending.
Now, I should mention that unlike most of the Moreland report, commissioners were split on this issue. Of the 25 Moreland members, 18 agreed that public financing would help curb corruption. Those members said, quote, it's the correct approach for New York State. But 7 commissioners disagreed, saying that the, quote, the commission's recommendation regarding public financing is significantly flawed. Greg?
All right, so each year when budget time comes around, Pat, we see these, tough cuts. Teachers lose their jobs, kids can't get programs. Where does this money come from?
Well, it would come from the state's general fund. At least that's what was been talked about when this was first floated out there. Now, if you're talking about $60 million, let's put it into perspective. That equates to about $3.15 per New Yorker. But conversely, there's those who are saying that even $1 is a waste and it's too much, saying that $60 million should go back into funding schools and education and could possibly go to fix the state's infrastructure. Something, of course, we're going to continue to watch as this unfolds come 2014.
Yeah, I believe we'll see plenty more controversy about all of the Moreland Commission. Thank you very much, Pat Bailey, reporting live tonight from Albany. Dory?